Hello and welcome to the Youth Academy Challenge Save with Guiseley on FM23. This is episode number 4 and we are about a quarter of a way through the season, and the first thing we're going to dive in and look at is Callum Chippendale. Now we all know he's got a fabulous name, but he can also now play in holding midfield as a segundo volante, so we've been getting him to practice that in the minimal amount of training that the players do, and he has now got it as a sort of accomplished position. So he still prefers to play attacking midfield and central midfield, but we have got him now accomplished in holding midfield as a segundo volante on attack. And he's actually been playing pretty well for us. 10 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists, but a 7.0 overall. And to be honest, most of the team have been performing quite well, because we find ourselves all the way up in 8th in the Vanarama National League North, which is absolutely incredible stuff. From the promoted teams, we are high-flying above everybody else. Hitchin are in the relegation zone down in 22nd. Tamworth, who we played today, are in 17th. FC United and Manchester are in 15th, and we're up in 8th, which is absolutely lovely. And if we go and have a look at the schedule, it's been pretty good. The 7-0 win against Hitchin was the first episode, which was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? It was absolutely brilliant. We've been on a good number of results since then. We've had our ups and downs. Darlington 5-4 is probably the standout game, which was just absolutely bonkers. So Mark Beck for them scored 4, and we'll look at Mark Beck. Mark Beck is a 6'5", very experienced striker who dominated absolutely everyone I tried to get him to mark him in the air. It was just ridiculous. He was just the epitome of lower league football. Everything went long from their goalkeeper to him. He flicked it on. They went wide, put it in. Everything I tried to do to stop it didn't work. So we did go for the attitude of, well, if you're going to do that, we're going to go very attacking as well and see what we can do to get back into the game. So they went 2-0 up very, very quickly through Mark Beck. 2-1, Jake Cassidy pulled it back for us. 3-1 for them. And then at half-time is when we sort of came into gear. Adam Hoare got one back. Callum Chippendale got one. Ben Liddell made it 4-3. We made it 5-3, and then 4-4 through Jake Cassidy. But if you look over this bit here, you can see we sort of slightly tweaked it up, only using 2 different systems, but one was defensive and one was positive, basically. And they went to a 4-4-2 diamond and 4-2-3-1 DMA wide. So this is really useful to see how often you've been playing formations. And as you can see, we've been changing it up a little bit for certain games. I mean, the Scarborough Athletic game was a disappointment, right? 4-4-2, 2 DMs. I couldn't settle on a formation. Lost that one 5-1. But we have been beating teams, not convincingly, but we've been beating them, which is good, and drawing them and getting back into games and stuff like that. So it's been really good. We even took Barrow in the National League, and we took Barrow to an FA Cup replay. 1-1 draw away from home, and that was only, they equalised in the 86th minute with a penalty. And then they came to our place, they came to Nethermore, and just absolutely wiped the floor with us 5-0. Yeah, it was embarrassing. At 2-0, we missed a penalty through Mohamed Kazim, which was a bit annoying, because it probably would have got us back in the game. But, yeah, we got absolutely smashed. In this time, we're trying to play a 4-4-1-1 and be a little, well, it looks like this, be a little bit more defensive in terms of our shape. But we're going to go back to what we've been playing and getting success with in the league, and that is this system here, which is segundo volante on attack. Dean sits up there, and it does give us, and then we have one of our wingers on support, and it is working. It is working in the league, as you can tell from our position and how well we're doing and getting on. So it is really good. We have picked up our first injury, which is a little bit irritating, because, well, it's not nice to have injured players, is it, when you've got such a small squad? So, yeah, there he is. He's got to come out. Spencer Harris, who is sub number 6, will come in, because obviously we don't have 6 subs in the league. So, yeah, a little bit irritating. I'm hoping it doesn't mean we're going to start picking up lots of injuries as we go. But we have been getting to grips with sort of not the training per se, but in terms of individual training. So we've had a couple of people on double intensity. Everyone went up to double when there was no games on. Then we went drop back to normal. And as you can see, I've set everything on up to sort of go back to what I want them to train as. So there's no one really in here that's just sort of on the set, what's it called? Default option. I have changed everyone to be doing what I want them to be trained as. So we've given new contracts to numbers of players as well to make sure that they're not on non-contract terms, because a couple of them were getting wanted things next to their names and were interested in other clubs and they're on non-contract. So we have now got everybody other than Lewis Gardner on an actual contract. And I probably would have done it with Lewis Gardner as well, but I can't offer him a deal because he's on the transfer list, and I can't take him off the transfer list because it's self-inflicted by him. And I think it's a little bit of a bug because he has been playing, 13 appearances. 3 appearances. He's played a little bit. And I thought he might have taken himself off the transfer list by now, but he hasn't. So neither here nor there. Sikora still has interest in him, Gateshead and Southend. He's been pretty good for us at the back. One of our biggest issues is scoring goals. And when I say scoring goals, I mean anyone other than our strikers scoring goals. We only have 4 goals that aren't from our strikers, and they are from Chippendale and Mohamed Kazim. So if Adam Hoare doesn't score and Jake Cassidy is having a bad game, we do not score goals. But luckily for us, Adam Hoare has got 17 in 15 so far, and he's coming along nicely. There is quite a lot of looking into attribute development, and I don't think we can really impact it a lot right now, given with how we've been how little training the team get to do. And so that's a bit annoying. So when we go full-time eventually and we can do full-time training, that's when we'll start looking at the development of attributes and actually getting people to focus on what we want. It's going pretty well. We've got a lot going on. We have made some staff additions. If I go and look at transfers, transfer history, or look at staff. So staff is obviously when you're doing a save around youth academy and not bringing in players, you need some of the best staff you can probably bring in. So Kelvin Langmead, who isn't amazing but is pretty good enough to be an under-18s assistant manager when we only have grey players at the moment, isn't too bad. Now, working with youngsters and discipline is pretty crucial when you're trying to groom youngsters into becoming adults and senior players, so that is sort of what we focused on with him. We've also got an under-18s coach. Again, working with youngsters and level of discipline isn't too bad. He does do a little bit of the coaching stuff as well. Alex Kenyon came in with him. Amy Rogers joined as our head physio, and although she's not got a very good photo, her physiotherapy is 9, which I found out at this level is actually pretty good. Normally I'd like that to be 20, obviously, but at this level 9 seems pretty good. But because she's the head physio and our actual physio is going to be doing more of the muscle rubs, Callum Walters joined, who has physiotherapy 10. So he's actually better at physio than his boss. So I'm hoping he does most of the physiotherapy for the players. We'll get to John Beale in a minute. He's the big one as assistant manager. But Eddie Jones has joined as a coach. And this is one I was very happy to bring in Eddie Jones because he gives us quite a lot of options, so technical, defending, fitness, working with youngsters, good discipline, good determination, good motivating. He also brings a little bit of different knowledge in terms for the club, and I think the club knowledge does make a difference to potentially what sort of region of nationalities you can get in through a youth academy. I don't know if it's him or it's the head of youth development, but if it all combines for the club, then it might be pretty decent. He's got some good knowledge and stuff as well, which is quite handy, so I can ask him things when we start getting youth players through. He can give me a decent idea with their ability and their potential. We've also brought in Scott Agnew, who on the forefront of it doesn't look incredible, but all of our players were moaning about the level of fitness training. So the fact that we could bring him in, it's annoying he can't be a fitness coach. He can't be a fitness coach, yet it's exactly what basically he needs. Motivating's terrible, but discipline's good. Can work with youngsters, which will be crucial going forward, and has good fitness as well. So he's been brought in as a coach just to coach fitness training. So it's a bit of a weird one, that one. And then we've got our assistant manager, John Beale. We picked him up from Swansea University, which is something I'm very excited about. Not only because in my job, or my old job, I used to work with Swansea University quite a lot when I lived in Bristol, But yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he, right? Judging player ability 14, potential 14, working with youngsters 18, motivating 14, discipline 12. He can teach technical, mental and attacking pretty well. So I think overall I'm very happy with John Beale agreeing to be our assistant manager, which is good. And that leads us into the training side of it. And then the coaches, if we look at assignments, this is how we're set up. So Scott Agnew is literally just focusing on the fitness stuff, which is improving it here. As you can see, I'm not very good at anything, so I've just got the defending and attacking, tactical, technical stuff. John Beale is doing most of the attacking stuff plus a bit of possession. We have Carlos Lenahan, the goalkeeping coach, just doing all of our goalkeeping and nothing else. And Eddie Jones is helping me out with the defending side of stuff. So between us 5 people, we are covering everything to a sort of good degree, and we have the best we can do in fitness, which I think is crucial because if we play 2 games a week, then we're not training. So I think when we do train, we can get some good fitness in. That's pretty good. Our attacking is good and our possession is good, which is helpful, isn't it? When we're creating our tactics, we know what we can do well and we know what we can train well. So we are going through it like that as well. We are playing Tamworth in this episode. I've been badgering on for like 10 minutes, so I feel like we should just get into a game. There isn't too much else to go through. Nathaniel Crofts is our first injury we've picked up this season. He's out for 11 days and between 11 days and 3 weeks, which is a little bit annoying because it eats into our options for the wingers. But yeah, overall, I'm very, very happy with it. The board were happy that we got knocked out in the 4th qualifying round. We're one penalty kick in the 86th minute away from getting into the first round of the FA Cup, which would have been amazing in our first season. We haven't entered the Builder-Base Trophy yet, and the National League, as I said, we're up into 8th, with Adam Hoare generally being our best player. So he's someone we've got to keep an eye on. Now, one thing I don't know is, and you guys might be able to help me out in the comment section below, so get in there, is when do we, in England, in the lower leagues, when do you get that little comment or a little bit of news that says, here's an overview of our youth intake, and then when do you get the youth intake actually coming in? I think the youth intake coming in is like March sometime. It's towards the end of the season. But I can't remember when you get the view of this is what we think our youth academy is going to potentially supply us with, our youth intake's potentially going to supply us with. So I don't know when to look out for that bit of news. I mean, I read all the news, but I can't remember when to look out for it. So yeah, you'll have to let me know. But ideally, we're going to get, in our youth intake, ideally we're going to get a goalkeeper who's half decent for his age. We're going to get a bit more pace on the wings. And I really would like a centre-back because I don't think we're going to keep George Sikora for very much longer. Every time I try to offer him a contract, he says no. The squad isn't strong enough to play at a level matching his ambitions. And I think the only way we're going to match his ambitions is to get promoted, which I don't think we're going to do in this first season. So that's enough of my waffle. Let's get into the game against Tamworth, and it's promoted team v promoted team. We'll see you there. Okay, so getting ready for the game against Tamworth. We're just going to sort out our team. So we do have a goalkeeper on the bench, but so far, touch wood, we've not needed a goalkeeper. So Harris is going to come into place eyeball because he's absolutely knackered. Luke Dean Dean's not actually very good. So Ross Daly's going to come back in there. Chippendale and Daly have got the link, which is pretty good. Smith, I sort of want to keep Smith in because Lewis Gardner's just so turd that we're not going to play it. Walker's going to come back into left wing. Kazim, oh no, Crofts is injured, isn't he? Bollocks. So Kazim has to start. Cassidy up front with Hoare is a good partnership as well. In terms of Tamworth, lining up in a 4-2-3-1, Daniel Creaney up front, 6'2", doesn't look incredible from what we can see. Like, he doesn't have a huge, that isn't all yellow, that's not very good for a target man even at this level. Has been in amongst the goals a little bit and is performing well for them, so we're gonna have to not rest on our laurels. We will tight mark him and pressure him as well. Will Proctor then, we don't know his preferred foot. He is actually quite tall, but he wants to play as a left winger. He's an 18-year-old Will Proctor. He is their assist leader. So I'm sort of thinking, whoever plays in that position, let's press them and let's force them inside onto their right foot so they can't put crosses into Daniel. Malichai Napa, 24-year-old, very, very quick, very, very small. Let's... Now, he's not going to be on to be tackled, actually. Let's go on to that one. He's not going to be on to be tackled hard. We'll trigger a press on him as well. I don't mind that. We'll have to see. Do we know his footing? No, we don't know his footing. So we'll have to find out in the future around what it is. It does make me think. I was trying to avoid hiring a scout because I don't want to spend the money unnecessarily. But I was just thinking, if we get one scout who can do judging... maybe tactical knowledge and judging player ability, then you could put it on next opponents, right? And it would allow you to learn some of this information. I think that's something we're going to do. And we're not going to go and press their back six, right? When their back six have the ball, we're basically going to say, you can have it. We're not going to press you. So we're not going to do any of this sort of trigger press on these guys here. We will just quickly look at Ben. Ben Mills, 5'9". He's transfer listed. Don't know too much about him. And Mason Goodbridge, 6'5". Okay, so Mason's going to be a bit of a beast in the air if we go long through the middle. So with that in mind, let's have a quick look at this as well. So Daly, 6 foot. He's quite tall. Bradley, 5'11". We've got Ben Hart, 5'11". Okay, and Joseph, 6'5". Oh my word, he's going to be a deadly from corners. Okay. And their goalkeeper, 6 foot. How's he been performing? It's his first game. It's his first game. Who have they been playing normally then? Jasir Singh has been playing normally, and he's got a 7.08, so he's been doing all right. And they're bringing in Toby Stewart on loan for his first game of the season against us. Okay, so I think we're going to... yeah, he's 6 foot and 5'11". Okay, let's just... let's play wider then. We're going to try and focus our play down the wings. And they've got two centre backs, so let's not swing the crosses in. And if we do, let's try and whip him into Adam Hugh, because he's the guy that's got the pace to try and get onto it. We'll stick with this, counter regroup. I don't mind the goalkeeper choosing what he thinks is the best option for now. Are we playing out from the back? We are, we're trying to anyway. Okay, let's avoid that and we'll go to a bit more direct passing. I'd like to... oh, yeah, I don't like the fact that Harris and Sakura can't play well together. We'll keep the low block. We're going to show them inside so that they don't get the crosses on. There is, apparently, if you show teams for the trap inside, it means your back four play wider apart. So there is that gap between the centre-backs a little bit more, but we also don't want... let's just stop the crosses then. We don't want them putting crosses into their target man. So... yeah, that's how we're going to go. This is a proper rambly episode, isn't it? But hopefully you're seeing how I go through the process of setting up for a game and what we're doing in the background as well. And the plan is to come back sort of like every quarter through the season, unless we have something massive in terms of news. And even then, I might just do a screenshot and show you as we're recording the video. So, I'm not going to say a marked improvement. I think that's a little bit harsh because it was Barrow who are in the league above us, and it was the Cup, and we're knackered. So, I want to win every match, and today is no different. Let's go out there and win it, and then we'll say to the defenders we've got faith in them. To the attackers, I want to say I want an edge. I want the edge, and I'm going to say that in midfield as well. I think midfield and attack is where we're going to have to win this game. So, yeah, Stewart makes his debut in goal, and Kyle Finn is coming in into attacking midfield as well, who we haven't said to do anything to at the moment. But we're in our 4-4-2. I call it a 4-4-2 because Chippendale pushes so high up the pitch as the Segundo Volante. Yeah, and there you go. Up in 8th, Tamworth down in 17th, but they're only 5 points behind us. So it's really all to play for in the league still in these early days. But hopefully we can make something happen as Sakura goes long up to Cassidy. There's Goodbridge. Yeah, he's so tall, isn't he? He's so tall. In fact, just by seeing his height again, we're going to go shorter passing. And we're going to try and pass around them because I don't want us to go long. I just don't want us to go long with the ball when they've got such height in the middle of the park. Walker over the free kick early on the left hand side, swings it to the back post. Daly's there. Daly, put it in. Oh, it's cleared off the line. It was a great save from the keeper, and then it was cleared off the line after Daly tried to put the rule on. Chippendale. It doesn't matter. We've scored anyway. His 3rd goal of the season. Lovely play there, as it was Cassidy, the target man, who set it up. And that is a superb start to this game here, as it was picked up by Quazim, who missed the penalty against Barrow, dinked it into space for Cassidy. He held it up well, cut it to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Chippendale was there to volley home. And, well, we had one Great save, one cleared off the line, and then the next attempt went in, and it's 1-0 Guiseley. So Stewart with a goal kick. He's going to go long, and Harris wins it in the air, which is a surprise, because Harris is not brilliant. Cassidy comes forward, but didn't really have too much space to run into there. Joseph goes long, and their striker wins the header, but it was quite isolated then, which is fine. If we can mark up the people around him and make sure there's no easy options, Cassidy flicks it out wide to Walker, but Bradley gets there first. The general ability of the players at this level means they prefer just booting it long anyway. Good save from Trenery, but he's offside. And so even though I've asked them to pass shorter, they will generally try and look for a long ball early if it's on, because it's just what their ability allows them to do, basically. We're 1-0 up, so we'll give them some praise. Stewart, another free kick goes long from him, but Chippendale wins it. Hoare into Cassidy, the target forward now. Oh, he's been robbed easily there by Milnes. As Carini comes forward, there's a man in the middle. We've got to mark him. He's still going. Harris with a good tackle. Quizim. He's oh my God. Daly has just booted that into Quizim, and that is such a lower league goal. It is unbelievable. So Kazim did really well tracking back here, didn't he? He got the ball, he sort of ran it into a bit of space, laid it off to his midfielder. Daly went in, we go, son, have this back, booted it in his face, and then Proctor runs through with Tamworth's second shot on target. Oh, he's put it 1-1, which is very annoying. Smith with the throw-in, Chippendale. Ball in. Cassidy with a header, it's just past the post. It's just past the post. There's a long ball forward, easy for Joseph at the centre-back to intercept. Smith wins the header well. Walker puts it in towards Cassidy again. Good first touch. It's poor clearance. Kazim shoots. Stewart on his debut makes a very good save. And it's going to be another corner here. Chippendale over to take it from this right-hand side. A little in-swinger towards the back post. Joseph, who's 6 foot, whatever he bloody was, heads it away. Quazim with a good tackle. He's recovered from having a ball booted into his face, and it's a decent tackle there, and Joseph just gets there before Cassidy. Walker tries to shoot. Stewart again with a good save. It's going to be another corner this time, and you can see our giant Sikora. It looks like he's sort of running into the area marshalled by Joseph, and it is headed away. We may have to mix up our corner routines at some point. Goodbridge intercepted by Daly. Joseph keeps it alive. Back to Hart. Over the top, and Smith is there. Into Daly again. That's not what we want. Oh, the goalkeeper's had a shocker. Cassidy puts it in. Stewart on his debut. You've got to feel sorry for him. That has got to be a bug. He came out for the ball and was beaten to it. He definitely wasn't. Cassidy's run from well inside his own half. There may be a bit of miscommunication there, but I don't know what the keeper's doing. It's 2-1 Guiseley. And, we are in the lead. I guess they got a fortuitous goal. We've got a fortuitous goal, which sort of evens it out, right, to 1-1. Daly, lovely crossfield ball to Walker. Walker to Cassidy. Oh, you think he went for a little dinky chip. I am just going to Daly here. Shorter passing. You're on shorter passing, so you really shouldn't be doing what you're doing. I don't mind the crossfield balls out to the wing, but long balls over the top is not in your game plan, my son. As they go wide, Harris does well at the back again. Trenary, yeah, that is his name. Into Kazim, crossfield pass to Walker. Don't mind that. Spreading the play, moving them around. Walker puts it in towards Cassidy. Milnes heads it forward though. Here comes Proctor, who got the fortuitous goal after Daly booted the ball into Kazim's face. Goodbridge comes down the right, lays it back into Milnes. Cassidy tracking back well, but the striker's been robbed, and Napa just shoots over the bar, and it should be half time as we get into this bit, or maybe not, because they've got a corner, and this worries me because they're very tall, some of their players. But Smith heads it away well. Back to Finn, in it goes again. Goodridge is the 6'5" man in central midfield. He's the one I was worried about. But at half time, 2-1 up, two very strange non-league goals in there. 11 shots to 5 on target to 3, 1.86 is our XG. Obviously that's going to be helped out. Is that Cassidy's goal there? How is that not off the chart for XG? It was pretty much an open goal where the keeper ran past the ball. But anyway, into the dressing room we go. I am just going to say that I'm happy. I'm happy with the shots we've got. We're playing well. I think I'm very tempted to drop it down. We are going to drop it down straight away to defensive and go from there, because there's no need to push at the moment. We're marshalling them well. We're playing well. We're defending well, to be honest. They haven't had that many shots, and we're outplaying them as we go forward as well. And if we can restrict them getting balls into that absolute giant of a man, Creaney, up front, then we're going to be all right, because Hart goes forward again. Smith, Chippendale's going to get it, but we won't see what happens there. Ratings looking good as well. Not too bad. Oh, not another corner. Finn to swing this one in. I'm very worried. We're not brilliant at defending corners. Goodbridge on the edge. Hart lays it in. Smith clears. Can Chippendale get on the counter? No, he can't. Bradley goes back to Hart. Goes long up towards the strikers. It's a good header away. Kazim into Daly. Cassidy lays it. A sensible football that. Vaughan up to Kazim. Kazim goes long over the top looking for Hoare. It's going to be very easy for Hart to intercept that one. Joseph goes long again for Creaney. Napa will bring this one down. First time ball. Sikora's there. Back to Trineri. And yeah, see, we're defending fine. I don't like those big long balls from the back. Because, oh, that's a fierce effort. And Trineri has to touch it over. The only way I can think about stopping those passes is by putting these guys as ball-playing defenders. And I really don't want to do that. Obviously, I really don't want to do that because they're not ball-playing defenders. So, I mean, take fewer risks, less passing risks, ask players to retain possession first and foremost, playing a sensible and patient passing game without unnecessarily conceding possession. I guess that's what we want on both of them, to just try and stop them absolutely launching it up the pitch where we're just losing possession. I mean, we've got play out from the back, we've got shorter passing on. It's over the bar from Creaney. I thought it was in. But we'll say that Trineri had that covered. Stop giving away set pieces. He's missed again. I'm wondering, are we... no, stay on feet is the one I wanted. Have we dropped off a bit too much? Let's go back to positive. We're playing well on that. Smith with a throw-in into Walker. Swings it around to back post, but Stewart comes and claims it well. Big early kick from the goalkeeper. Harris is there and intercepts it. He booms it along again, which is useful for absolutely nobody. Harris on it now into Chippendale. Picks out Cassidy well with a pass. Great ball through from Cassidy. Hoare's in. Hoare! Oh, it was round the goalkeeper. And it's a great block from that really tall centre-back. Hoare's not having a good game today. He's on a 6.6. It's not terrible, but yeah, in other games, our leading goal scorer just fires that one into the net as Napa comes forward. Lays it back to Finn. Finn, shot from range. Good save from Trineri again. 64 minutes gone. We're still 2-1 up. Trineri decides going long is the best thing to do, and that's not ideal with Joseph. And there's a gap in the middle, and Creaney's in. And you can sort of say it's been coming in this second half. We've created a few chances. That one from Hoare was huge at the other end. But yeah, we've gone long, and Joseph's such a giant. He's always going to win that. Over the top as our defenders were split either side, and Creaney's there. It's a good finish. It's 1-1. Oh, that is irritating. I swear I've got in transition. Yeah, distribute to fullbacks. Okay, let's ask him to throw it. I mean, what is Trineri's throwing 11? Yeah, you can throw it. Kicking 11 as well, so he should be good at both, but we'll get him to throw it out. So, yeah, Adam Hoare not having a great game. George Smith not playing brilliantly well. Let's do Smith for Gardner. We'll do Kellett for Hoare and put Quazim up front as the advance forward. I think that's what we're going to go with. Kellett left-footed. Walker left. So we'll put Kellett on the left. We'll bring Walker over here as an attacking... inverted winger on attack. Kellett can just drop to winger on support on that side. It's just a little bit irritating, isn't it? It leaves one sub in case we need it for like the last 20 minutes or so. Throwing then. Vaughan to take it up towards Cassidy. Back to Vaughan. He's been tackled really well by Proctor, actually. And Proctor still has it into Daly. Finn. Proctor on it. Daly. Milnes. Yeah, we've just forcing them back a little bit there. Joseph tries to spread the play, but Vaughan's read it really well. Crossfield pass to Kellett. That's adventurous. I don't know, again, why we're trying that sort of pass. Just calm it down, folks. Calm it down. We need to focus the play down the right and left. That doesn't mean absolute monstrosity swinging passes to go out there. Bradley. Into Napa. Napa tried to cross it. Gardner actually covered that well. The left back that's just come on. Here's Kellett. Kellett spreads it wide to Walker. Walker through to Kazim, who's pulled off his man. Kazim's used his pace. He's got Cassidy in the middle. It's a penalty. It looked like a totally fine challenge. It says he took a dive. Now, we missed our last penalty, and it was Kazim that missed it. It's Cassidy, our target. Forward, fires it into the bottom corner. It's 3-2 to Guiseley. I nearly said Guiseley. Guiseley. Oh, man, that is... I mean, it looked like a dive. The commentary said dive from Kazid. I'm not complaining too much, but Yeah, I think that'll be brought up in the press conference after the game for sure. Yeah, Vaughan absolutely shattered. We could bring on Eyeball at right back. 6.7 absolutely knackered. I think we're going to have to bring on Eyeball back there just to shore this up a little bit. 5 minutes to go. I know going very defensive didn't work last time, but we are going to sit very, very defensive. Don't bother playing out of defence anymore. Goalkeeper, do whatever the hell you like. Hold our shape. Slow the pace down. Low block. Stay on feet. Don't have to press them as much. Let's try and trap them inside and get into this group of players in here. We will drop off more as well. We're going to really sit back and make this work. Inverted winger there. Segundo Volante on support so you don't push up as much. I'm just wondering, is there a way we could even go Keller in there, Walker over here, Kazim in there, and we'll go winger on support. Oh, well, you want to be a winger on attack. No, winger on support. Kazim, winger on support. Target forward, we'll put you on attack because it makes sense. Attacking midfielder on support. That is probably as defensive as I can go with the players I've got at my disposal. But with 5 minutes to go, it's turned into a pretty even game. Our XG is 3, so we have scored the goals equal to our XG. And it looks like we've just completely shut this game down. Or have I spoken too soon? Eyeball with a tackle. He's got fresh legs, so he should be okay. Ball in towards the big man. It's headed away. Walker's there. And the difference is now, yeah, I'm happy to just hoof it away and get it away. Hart goes long. Jones is in acres of space. There's no one near him. It is blocked, but it's a free kick. He was in acres of space because he was offside. And we're now going to slow this game down like there's absolutely no tomorrow. And, of course, we'll put some time wasting on as well. So Harris will take this one. It's been a pretty even game against Tamworth. They've given as good as they got here, but I think away from home, any sort of win is good, right? And there's 20 seconds left to go, and we've just booted it. It's like rugby. We've gone for sort of the area and just booted it straight out of play. Chippendale. Gardner then puts it long. I don't mind that. We're in too, and he's just cleared it away, and it is the end. A thriller live on camera. It's 3-2 to Guiseley. And, I mean, we have had much better XG throughout the game, but that first period of the second half where I went defensive really didn't work. But Jake Cassidy with 2 goals is massive. Chippendale with the opener as well, really good. Quazim came on, won a penalty, still got a 6.5, but he didn't come on, so he started the game. But, yeah, nice work, everyone. That was very good. Now, are we going to get a question from our one journalist that comes to every single press conference about that penalty? We actually have 2 journalists at this one, which is good. You're expected to be amongst those scrapping it out for survival this season, yet here we are, after a stunning start with Guiseley, flying high. How far can your team go? I'm not about to be drawn into saying something I might regret later in the season. You won't get me that easily. How good was Jake Cassidy? Magical stuff from Jake. There are rumours that you're still in the market for another player. I'm not going to discuss any transfers. Look, we're not interested in Alec McLachlan. Do you get along well with Curtis Woodhouse? I don't know him. I hope to respect him and get to know him. Few could have predicted just how impressive Ross Daly would be in a new role. What's your view on it? A new role? You mean he doesn't want to be a ball-winning midfielder in central midfield, which is exactly what he's doing? What's your view on it all? Look, Ross has done really well in a new role. Has the time spent on the training ground by Callum Chippendale to adopt a complete new position been worth the weeks and months of effort? Yes. In my view, which is the only one that actually matters, it's been nothing but positive for us all. Thank you. Do you concur that no matter how good a player is these days, they have to be able to perform multiple roles even in the same position? Absolutely. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And there we go. Ryan Gaskell, who's been ever present in all my press conferences, is expressionless at the end of every single one. And Andy Lambert is new from BBC Radio Stoke, so I don't know what he's doing here. But, yeah, Ryan Gaskell, there he is. No relationship. Soon, we'll be friends, Ryan, me and you. We'll be friends. So Cassidy puts in performance for Guiseley. 2 goals as well. Superb in front of netmate. And a cracker at Telford v Chester. 4-2 to Chester. That one. And player of the week is Jake Cassidy, which is lovely, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. Right, we'll be flying through until game number... What are we on now? This is 12. So it'll be game number 24-ish. I'll pick a fixture around game number 24, which we'll be coming back with. And, yeah, we may have some news. We may not. Let's wait and find out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. I really hope you're enjoying this save. I really am so far. Can't wait to get our first youth intake through the door and see what we're dealing with. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.